everyone. So very good morning to all the participants over here. I think this is a complete group who is from the English version. Uh,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you. Sunita, can you just also update me like till what time we can go for the session?
Yes, ma'am. Your session is till 11:15, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So thank you so much. And once again, I welcome everyone. So before I start, I would like to know how many of you have already attended the e-content development workshop in the past, because I could see some names who are very familiar. So just if you can put your virtual hand, if you have already attended, so that we know how many of them are repeatedly attending. Okay. First timers, no need to write. Only those who are attending again can just put up so that I know the proportion of people who are attending again. Right. I don't see a lot of hands, but still okay. Some around 10 to 15. Right. Thank you. Thank you. You can lower your hands. Thank you so much for joining for this session. So we will be discussing now about the techno-pedagogy integration in teaching, learning, and assessment. And while we are going to discuss about this, like I would like to request everyone, if there is a possibility for keeping your video open, you can keep your video open. But if you feel that because you're full day on live and if you don't have that much of network, then you can keep your video off. But keep putting your questions in the chat box when and where you get the questions or whenever you want to share some observations. But we'll have discussion time in between whenever I open, allow them to engage in the chat box, right? Yeah. Let me share my screen. Whether my screen is visible? Can anyone confirm?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
So we are going to discuss about integration of ICT in teaching, learning, and assessment. Generally, like very specific towards the e-content, what we are talking about for the last 4 days, and we will also be working towards understanding the ethical practices. So just to give you what are the discussion points today, like all these 4 days you have been learning about digital technology in multiple ways, but we will come to a common understanding of what we talk ICT as and why do we need it. And these are the things which you would have by this time you should have understood. So, but we wanted to have a common understanding. So we will be having some discussion around this, and we will also move towards how to integrate and the safety and security perspective as well. And when we move ahead, what is ICT? Can I request the participants to put in the chat box what you think what is ICT? If you are asked to explain to a person who is non technology expert, how will you explain it? You can type in the chat box. You need to write what is ICT. If somebody asks what is it, whether we will just say the full form as information and communication technology, or how will you explain ICT? Okay. Let me give some time for everyone to type your response. We will take another 1 minute. There are several answers we have got here, like it's a form of digital technology. Some of you have written about like saying these are various tools, that is various resources. Some of us have written that it is used for education. Some of us have written that it is more of hardware and software. Some of us have written in terms of usage, used for teaching, used for assessment. So if we keep on reading all the definitions that have come up, each one of us has seen one attribute of ICT. When we wanted to explain ICT, the way we have given this, that only talks about one attribute of ICT. So it is very important for all of us to have a common understanding. So you can see different answers. If 364 people are there and 364 people who are going to be the state resource group has different answers like this. If you all go back and train other teachers on ICT, you can understand what would the understanding of ICT go to the teachers. Because all 10 must like 5 people from each state go and tell different versions of ICT to teachers, then they will get confused, right? So it is very important for all of us to have a common understanding, so that when we go as state resource person to speak, we all go with the same understanding and speak. When I talk ICT integration, I'm talking ICT in this terms. So let us try to understand what does ICT refer to, so that we all come to a common understanding to explain others, or even while implementation, it will help everyone. Okay? And when we say ICT refers to creating, storing, retrieving, manipulating, sending, and receiving digital information. So if you see here, the first four parts: creating, storing, retrieving, manipulating, sending, and receiving digital information. So if you see here, the first four parts: creating, storing, retrieving, and manipulating digital information is part of the IT. When I say ICT, it is information and communication technology. So creating, storing, retrieving, and manipulating are part of the information technology. Sending and receiving is part of the communication technology. So when all these are supported and all these are implemented with respect to digital information, then we can call it as ICT. This is like a little bit of a theoretical explanation. So let us try to understand with a real simple example so that we can understand. Okay. Can I request everyone now? Everyone here will take one screenshot. Everyone knows to take a screenshot? Everyone knows? So what we are going to do, you're going to take the screenshot about this Zoom meeting and you will post that image file in the chat box. Upload that file in the chat box. I'll give you some time. I'm just telling it again. What are you expected to do? You know, there are participants. You should be able to take one screenshot to show that this is what the workshop is, what the SRG training is about, and put that file. That file will be saved as a image file that you should upload in the chat box. Good. There are many people who are uploaded. Let's give us one more few minutes so that more people will get up, more people can upload. Okay. Do we see a variation in the photos that has come up? Some people are only focused on whoever is working on the mobile. Somebody is in a gallery mode where we are able to see more, where my photo is more and then the participants' list is short. Some of them have also kept the chat box open. So we have taken different ways the photo, right? The photos are in different formats. But ultimately, what did we do? We all took a screenshot. What did we do by taking a screenshot? Can you tell me? Can I request the admin to allow people to speak out? You can allow
Yes.
them to open their mic and speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Those who want to speak out, give
We
response, please
created,
raise your hands. Okay?
we created
Yeah.
an image,
We created an image, just an image or a digital image.
a digital image.
So right now, everyone by a screenshot created a digital image that is representing what is happening in this SRG training, right? So that is
Yeah.
what we have created, which has recorded what is happening in this training happened. Somebody wants to show that there is a chat feature available. So you have taken a screenshot along with the chat. Somebody wants to show that there are more participants. So you have kept in gallery view and taken the picture. So whatever you wanted to really record, you have created by taking a screenshot. Right? Now all of you took a screenshot. Right? Now all of you took a screenshot in your system or in your mobile. Where did this particular image went and say you have uploaded in the chat box. For getting it uploaded, this image got stored in your system, right? It got first of all stored in your system. It may be stored in your mobile, or whenever you created a digital information, it automatically it automatically gets stored in your device. It is stored in your mobile, or it is stored in your computers, or in your desktop, in your tab. So the second process, what it happened is when it's stored again in a digital information. That is why when I said like upload the photo, you were able to retrieve it from the place it got stored, and you were able to share it with us. You send the image to me, and I have received the image from you, right? You were able to create digital information about this in SRG meeting. You were able to store it. You were able to retrieve it. You were able to send it. I have received it. Now, can I request you to edit your picture? The screenshot which you have taken, I want only the photo of you to be in that picture. Again, share it. You should be able to take a photo where you are seen to be part of this program, and you should edit such that your face is seen as well as your screen is seen. Those who are not able to open your video, at least you should be know that your name is there. We want to look your picture in that, not others pictures, only your picture. Very good. There are many people who are able to do that. So what did you do now? Since your information was shared as a digital information, you were able to manipulate it. If this has not been if it was this picture, the way you cut with the scissor, right, it will lose its originality also. So what you were able to do, you were able to pull out what you want. You were able to only pick up the information which you want from the information which is created. So since because you created it as a digital information, you were able to again manipulate it, you were able to send it, you were able to receive it. So this is what is the ICT can do. So as we saw in the information, the image, ICT refers to process as an individual or a thing. It can be a hardware, it can be a software, it can be a process, or a combination of this that will be able to do creation, storing, retrieving, manipulation, sending, and receiving of digital information. So right now, you did all these activities. So what is ICT in this? Which is the software, which is the hardware, which is the process. So if you see this whole thing, to do this complete cycle, everyone has used a hardware. Your mobile or your desktop or your laptop or your tab, this is a hardware that you have used, right? You all took a screenshot. For taking a screenshot, you have used a software, something to screen capture, which is already installed in your mobile or installed in your system. You have already taken that, you have used it, right? For getting connected with me to send it, we are connected only through internet. Otherwise, if you send it, I cannot receive it, right? We are using the complete internet, and we are using the Zoom account. If you are not in Zoom, how are we connected? We are using the Zoom to share it. The chat box of the Zoom is used to share it. So here Zoom is also used. When you cropped it, you used the process of editing. So all this together becomes ICT. So I cannot say said like I'm using Zoom. I cannot say that I'm using ICT. Simply by taking one tool, I cannot say. There should be a completeness. All the six should have happened. Then only we can say that I am using ICT. Is this clear for everyone? Many times we use PowerPoint in our classroom and we claim that we are using ICT. Are we really using ICT? Just think about PowerPoint. PowerPoint, we created digital information, we stored it, we can manipulate it, we were able to actually, we can edit, we can change everything, even we can retrieve it. One day we have created and we can retrieve it after 5 days. But sending and receiving, when we use it in the classroom, sending an information and receiving the information doesn't happen as digital information. It is on the screen, we speak to explain, we use our sound to convert what is there in the screen to the students. So the sending information is happening through, otherwise students directly cease to receive it. It has not gone to their hand in a digital format. So when we just use it in our classroom, we cannot say I'm using ICT, but I can say that I'm using digital technology. All digital technology are not under ICT, but all ICT are digital technology. Is this clear? So this is the common understanding we need to have. Can we take another example to check whether we have got a correct understanding? So you will just say yes and no. Okay? The answer will be only yes and no. You will just give your answer. If you wanted to say yes, you're not going to type in chat box. If you want to say yes, you will show thumbs up like this. If you wanted to say no, you should show thumbs down like this. You will use only a visual communication. Nobody should answer in the chat box. Everyone should know right by now how to give reaction. Now, no, I didn't give the question itself. Everyone should stop giving thumbs up now. Only after my question is given. If your answer is yes for the question, you will give a thumbs up. If your answer is no for the question, you will put a thumbs down. I think everyone was trying to do and see. I think practice is over now. Can I put a question now? Yeah. Can I request everyone to now stop? Right. So I'm just going to tell something. You need to just think whether it is ICT or not. If it is ICT, you will say thumbs up. If it is not ICT, you will say thumbs down. Okay. All our printed books which has QR code. Is it ICT or not? Manipur Fijam. Dinesh sir. Sir or madam, I'm not sure. May I request you to open your mic? I have given you permission to unmute. Are you able to open your mic? Okay. Prangita Golmai from Manipur. You have said that it is not ICT. Why it is not ICT? Can you unmute yourself and explain? Why do you think that it is not ICT? Anyone who else feels that it is not ICT? Who would like to answer? If the group is so silent, that means some of them are just keeping the thing on and not responding, not listening. If your answer, yeah, Pavan sir. Okay. Pavan sir, would you like to
Ma'am,
explain? Yes, sir.
ma'am, uh, if we take a textbook with the barcodes, then it come under ICT. If it is just normal text only, that is does not come under ICT.
Okay. How can book with QR code be called as ICT? Why do you
Because ma'am,
consider
we
that
are
to
using
be
our
called as ICT?
hardware devices, mobiles, barcode scanner. That is a part of ICT.
So you should explain with the definition which we learned. Can you just relate to the definition we learned accordingly, whether it really fits to ICT not or not? Can you explain in that way?
Yeah, madam, according to ICT, we have to use some technological gadgets as we are using our mobile. When we are scanning that thing, it will come on the screen in our mobile as a 3D picture or 2D picture. Then it becomes a part
Okay.
of ICT.
Okay. Thank you. Pankaj sir?
Good morning, ma'am. Good
Yes,
morning,
sir.
everyone. Ma'am, as far as the once we put the QR or barcode over the printed book, it is a creation of the digital content. The first thing, as per the definition, and then it is being shared also in form of a barcode. So more or less, or we can say store also stored on the printed page, and then it is as and when it required, it can be shared through the digital technology medium. So in that sense, the ICT is there and the digital technology, the uses of digital technology is there.
Okay. Thank you. Maitrik and Jani.
Morning, ma'am. In the
Yes, sir.
previous which are having
Your
QR
voice is
codes
breaking, sir. Huh.
are phygital, which is a blend of physical textbook with digital. And when we are scanning through a smartphone, which is directly linking to the information which is stored in the Diksha platform. So it is nothing but communication, digital technology, all the things are blended together with physical aspect of textbook, which is a must.
Thank you, thank you. So we I'm not taking everyone's answer, but we have understood. Many of us have understood now what is ICT. So whenever we are just going to discuss in this whole next 1 hour about ICT, this is what has to be in our mind. Is it wrong to use only digital technology, not completing the cycle? Nothing wrong. It depends on your facility available. Accordingly, ultimately, we are trying to leverage digital technology in our classroom. If there is possibility, we should use it to complete the complete cycle to make it ICT. For example, many of them have iPhone in their hand as a status symbol. Many parents nowadays, old aged parents, have iPad in their hands, where children are in abroad, they have given iPad in their hand. Just when the children call, they have to click on the green button, attend the call. When the call is over, click on the red button and cut the call. So having an iPad in the hand doesn't make them to become a user of ICT. Though iPad has scope of creation, scope of creating, storing, retrieving every process, but most of them use it only for sending and receiving over the call. So that is where having a phone, having a device, having a software doesn't make us as a ICT user. But all of us have to use the technology in the possible way. So whenever we say ICT, it is made as ICT only if the user use it in that way. So nothing can be called this is ICT, but that can become an ICT in the hands of a user. With this understanding, let's move forward to the next question. Why should we use ICT? Can I listen to answers? Somebody is asking, share the PPT. PPT, why do you need for discussion? This is where many of us fail. All the time we want PPT before our eyes. Why do we need PPT all the time? This session is to make us understand we need to use technology tools only when and where it is required. Now we are having more of discussion where there is no need for a PPT. Yeah, I want people to speak out what, because you are in the fourth day. Over the 4 days, you can raise your virtual hand so that I can call out also. Rudraji, you can unmute.
Madam, good morning, madam.
Yes,
If
sir.
we
Good
use
morning, sir.
ICT, easily explain concepts, the students can easily understand the concept. For example, solar system, digestive system, like that, blood circulation system. So it is a
So
very
ICT helps in easy understanding.
yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
let's go for the another answer. Kasa Vijaya from Andaman.
No, 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 no. From Andhra Pradesh, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, ma'am.
Yes, to make the learning enjoyable and make it continuous and to give complete holistic development of the children and to make the
Oh,
concept easy for the child.
thank you so much. Shri Shailam. Shri Shailam ji. You're not able to unmute yourself? Okay. Pankaj. Pankaj ji.
Ma'am,
Good
good,
morning,
good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Good morning,
should
ma'am.
Yeah,
I?
Shri Shailam sir.
Ma'am,
Pankaj ji,
here,
please hold on. Shri Shailam sir.
so to make the children understand very easily and teaching here to the
Okay.
children effectively. So
Okay.
in my social science here, just I can draw a picture of Himalayas, but I cannot take to the Himalayas. But that is available in internet.
Okay.
In that way,
Right.
here people can understand very easily, ma'am.
Okay,
I
sir.
see I
Can we
see
go with
digital,
Pankaj sir?
ma'am.
Yeah. I took your answer, sir, to make children understand better. Pankaj ji. Pankaj sir, please unmute yourself.
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, it increases the use of ICT, increases the perceptibility index of the learner, one thing, and the senses gets involved more and sort of immersion becomes greater. And in that results in totality into the learning aspect as a learning outcome. So it is a tool to accelerate the learning.
Okay. Just 1 minute. So now I was trying to ask everyone one by one to open the mic and speak. So now what are we going to do is the same question, but I'm going to ask everyone to write at a time. Okay. So I'm going to put a link in the chat box. Everyone will click on the link and give your response of why it is required to use ICT. Click on this link, which I put in the chat box. So many of you have raised their hand. So I'm not able to ask everyone to open a mic and speak. Now, everyone who are participating now will click on this link, go to the link, and it will ask you 3 questions, right? You can write like why. Only one word. You should not write in 2 words. You write one word. Why to use ICT in your teaching learning. So I'll share my screen and we will see what responses are coming from everyone. You should write only one single word like this. Yeah. Those who have finished, keep observing the screen, what is happening. Some of the naughty children are also there, writing some mischievous answers. There are 300 plus people, but only 160 people have logged in into the link. That means half the people are not active in the class. You will see maximum how many people are active in the class. We request everyone to observe. If you have submitted your answer, observe the screen. What's coming on the screen? I'll just give another 1 minute. Out of 350, around only 200 people are active in the class, others are not. Okay. So those are doing it, keep doing it. We'll start our discussion with whatever response that has come. All of you are observing the screen now. We are getting, like earlier when I wanted to ask one by one, like no, to give the answer. Within 5 minutes, I could not even listen to two people. It is very time consuming if I want to take inputs from everyone. But right now you can see here 169 responses have come. 169 people have given your response in few minutes, not even 2 to 3 minutes. And all your responses have been collated. You can see some of the words highlighted in little larger font. Why it is in larger font? Why this some of the words are in larger font? It is because like many of you have given that response. So it has reduced this is the benefit of ICT. Right now you can see we are co-creating this word wall. All of us together has created this word wall now, not just one person, a collaborative digital creation. And all your responses are put together and it is created, and I can even store it. So if you see here right now, this is today's session. I can even see all my history, all like I have there is a little change in the thing. Yeah, show history. You can see I have conducted the same activity multiple times. Now this is my which session. You can see it's my 15th session using the same tool, same activity. But I'm able to save it. I want to see the previous activities answer. I'm going to click and just go and see my 10th sessions, previous 10th session answer. You can see that this was conducted only with few 48 people, and we have able to get the responses like this. So we can see like I'm able to store this, I'm able to retrieve it, I can manipulate it. If I wanted to remove a few words, I can do that. I can just take a screenshot of this and send it for you and you can receive it. So this is the way we are using ICT, using one tool now. But here you can see the way it is making us easier. ICT makes your work easier because I could get the information from so many people in few minutes, right? So that is the benefit of technology here. And there were lots of answers that came up saying that this technology helps to be interactive. Does really technology helps to be interactive? Is it helping right now in our classroom? You just think of the class. If this 1.5 hours, if I keep speaking, only showing a presentation, how well you will be able to be interactive in this classroom. Now itself, out of 384, only 100 plus people are active in the classroom. Because in online classroom, many times we have tendency to not be active, not to be interactive in the classroom because it is one way. If I only do presentation in today's class with the PowerPoint, showing the PowerPoint and I keep talking throughout this session, most of you would have just gone to sleep. Or you would have kept the Zoom on and doing some other work. At least now I am sure that 100 plus people are participating in this class. I'm not asking you to do anything. aware of the rest of the people, but there are many people whom we could see that they are really people active in the classroom. So whether ICT can, only technology can make people be active in the online version of the classroom. If it can do this much interaction in a complete online class, the way you use it, it would break the monotony. That is the truth. Even though we are a great teacher, I am a very skilled teacher, nowadays our mental stigma has changed. Our mental state is changed to not see more same person for a 1 hour. We cannot listen to the same person for 1 hour. Even in families now, father or mother speaks for 10 minutes more, children get bored. If children speaks little more, parents get bored. We are living in such a situation. So in our class, if we really wanted to make certain things, then the technology use is important. So that's one of the benefit why we need to use it. Many of us were saying that we need to use it because children can understand better. So you would have learned a lot of things in the last 4 days, but I'm just going to show you a few examples to support the statements which we have come up. Okay. So most of you must have gone through, because you would have been in, even if it is subject specific tools, you will be learning in specific groups only. So I'm just going to show you like some tools to, for everyone to together understand. All of us have learned in class in the school about pH value. Okay. So if I ask a question to all of you, what is the pH value of human blood? Can you type in the chat box? What is the pH value of human blood? Seven, 5.9, 7.4, 6.5. We have different responses. Okay. So because many of us are not really immediately aware, because we never tested our blood to find out what is the pH value of my blood. Even in school, when the experiment is done, we try to take soap water, rice water, some lemon juice, which is available. Many times we will try to say the application pH value of the human body is also important. Because we don't do it. Why can't we pierce the blood and find out the pH value in the school? Why don't we do that experiment? Is it easy? No, our own blood. So tell every child to bring one needle, pierce their own hand, take a blood. What will happen next day? All the parents will come to school. Right? We are not able to do certain things as experimentation because there is a risk. There is no possibility to practically, not possible to do it. There are some kind of, all teachers are really wanted to make the classroom better. None of the teacher, if you have worked as a teacher for 2 years, already you have sacrificed your life. Without sacrifice, we cannot stay as a teacher beyond 2 years, in a government school especially. If we have already stayed, even now in any private school, if we have stayed, that means we have already sacrificed our life. When we have sacrificed to teach the children, we always try to give the good. But we are not able to do many things because of multiple factors in our school. Maybe there is no possibility, certain things are not possible practically. There are certain things that doesn't really allow to happen because there is no experimentation space. So at that time is where we are, this kind of simulations comes in. Right, I'm going to just use one simulation to have an understanding how we will do. So let us take human blood here. Let's take little blood in this many blood we cannot never take it and do experiment. I'm just going to try to find out a pH value. What is the pH value? It is 7.4. Now my question is, if I add water to this blood, what will happen to the pH value? Will increase, decrease, stay same? You can give your answers. Will it increase when I add water to this? Whether it will increase, pH value decrease, or say stay? Okay. Some of them are saying same. Most of them says decrease. Why do you think it will decrease? Anyone can put your hand who has written decrease to give explanation. no change and decrease is what most of them have happened. Water is like, it's a neutral water, becomes neutral. Okay, so why do you think that it will become neutral? Why do you think that it will decrease? As it is getting diluted, so it will become less. Okay, why does it, some of you have written no change, why? Because of the pH value of water. Okay, does not change. So let us see now what happens. When I'm going to add water, you are going to watch the pH value. Okay, what is it happening? Many of you told that the pH value will decrease. Yeah, it has decreased. So now whenever we conduct this in our classroom, our question will be, okay, what did you derive from this particular, what do you infer from this experiment? Mostly students infer that whenever we dilute, then the pH value decreases. Now what we are going to do, we are going to take another solution. We'll take chicken soup. Take chicken soup. Now let's find the pH. 5.8. So as per the previous experience, when I add water, the pH value should decrease. But what is happening here? pH value is increasing, right? So most of the time, we don't have this kind of experimentation space. We are not getting enough time for us to spend in the classroom to do this kind of experiments. So what we can do is, when technology is giving that space, it is trying to help you to supplement, complement your classroom practices. To say that whenever it is not possible to do physically, take use help of technology. You can use simulations in this way. But here the benefit is, in classroom you cannot bring so many solutions to test multiple times. Here every child can test it out. So what we did once is, we told the children, now when these two answers came, children got confused. First time it decreased, next time it increased. So what is the reality? So what in a classroom we did is, we told the children to play with this simulation at home. Instead of giving them homework, write these questions, do this, do that, we said, now this is in mobile app, use the mobile app, play this, do experiment with different things which is written, bring a table, whichever solution increase, whichever solution decrease. It is part of class 11 classroom content. After you come to the classroom, then you speak why it increased, why it decreased, why in something it is increasing. It talks about how water bonds with, there is a complete chemistry behind us. It's not just simple that it is diluted and it became, how the hydrogen atom and water gets during the reaction, what happens, because of which the pH value changes. So this classroom content is initially enabled by the students' own exploration. They do that with a curiosity, then they will come to know what it is. That is where we can bring that interest of the children towards the classroom. There are n number of tools. Learning tools should not be the intention of the teacher as a first thing. Learning to know when I will use my technology, why I will use my technology, how I will use technology should be the teacher's first perspective. If we are clear with this, we will find ways and tools for ourselves. So this is one point which we need to know, that certain content has scope for technology, right? Let me ask you a question. You are all, many of you are not from Delhi. Many of you must have never traveled to Delhi, but in the whole country, we keep on telling that Delhi is the capital of India. Everyone knows, right? But in your own school, if you want to teach Delhi is the capital of India, what kind of digital resource you need to use it? What type of digital resource? Can I ask admin to keep everyone's you can just leave them for automatically.
Okay, ma'am.
So, but we want responsible behavior from the participant. When we keep the meeting open for your mic to open, you should keep your mic closed when you are not speaking. And if one person is speaking, the other person has to. This is something we need to learn as a digital behavior. As teachers, if we don't learn it, we cannot teach our student. Okay, so we are going to give you freedom and check how far you are able to practice it. So So whoever has an answer can just unmute yourself and speak. I'm not going to call the name now. You can just open your and give your answer. If I have to teach that Delhi is the capital of India, what kind of digital resource? What you have must have learned already all the forms of digital resource in the first thing. What form of, whether you need an image, whether you need a video, whether you need an infographic, what do you need to tell that Delhi is the capital of India?
Ma'am, we can use Google Earth, ma'am.
Okay.
Google Earth.
Okay. You can just tell the names and keep going. Any other answer?
Google Earth, ma'am.
One answer per person. Google Earth. Anything else?
Ma'am, monuments pictures to show
Monument pictures. Okay. Anything
Google
else?
Wikipedia.
Google Art. Right?
Wikipedia.
Cetera. Google Art and Culture.
Google Art and Culture. So all
Wikipedia.
of us are going to Wikipedia.
Cetera.
Yeah, all of us
Visual, ma'am.
are thinking the car.
Virtual tour, madam.
Okay.
Virtual
Can I
tour.
hold on now till now? Virtual tour. Now let's stop answering. All the answers which came up are all the tool names. Everyone immediately thought this is social content. All the social science tools have come. But we never thought to the question what I told. I just said that we need to teach Delhi is the capital of India, which is a textual content. If you show a Google map, will that Delhi is in India? That will not tell that Delhi is capital. To tell Delhi is capital, you don't need a map.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. Your voice is cracking.
Simply a capital of India because it is a factual as a statement. My voice
Ma'am, we are not able to hear you.
is cracking for everyone. Can CIT team?
Ma'am, it's distorting a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just
Can't
give me a
able to
minute.
hear voice properly.
Can I request now admin to mute everyone? I will just connect with another system also. I'm host, please allow me in my another account to unmute.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. But it is echoing.
Now it's okay. I guess.
Yes, ma'am. It's perfect.
Okay, sorry for that. Okay, most of you give an answer as soon as it is a social science content, we started thinking of all the tools. But the content that is to be taught is only simple that India is the capital of Delhi. It's a single statement to be taught to the student, where only they should know two words, India, Delhi, and capital. So that's a connecting word. For this, we need only a little a content like a flashcard or just a slide that is more than enough. We don't need anything. But if I need to say that Delhi is surrounded, if I have to teach a content, Delhi is surrounded by these neighboring states. If I have to talk about it, then it is very, very important for everyone what you said, because there is a need for a map to show that like where Delhi is. Is my audio clear now?
Ma'am, it's clear.
My audio
Yes,
clear?
ma'am.
Yeah. So Delhi is
surrounded by these neighboring states, when you wanted to talk about it, then you wanted to show the map because you are from Northeast. Children would have never seen where Delhi is. So you need to make them to see it. Then you need a map to show that Delhi is here and these are the states which are surrounded by it. Then you need a map. Which type of map? Is it a political map? Whether it is a temperature map, which map we need it? Still just not a map, we need to go into still more detail saying that because I need to show the borders of the Delhi where the neighboring states are there, it is very important you use a political map. So the decision of which resource has to be used depends on what content you are teaching. In this example which I showed you, the pH value, here it is more of them showing that what happened. They have to visualize it, which is not possible to imagine. Then there is a need for simulation to be do. It is not, we could have just shown some example like, no, as a picture, but in picture they will not know whether it is increasing, whether it is decreasing. So can I record this video and show it? When I record and show it, people will not get that real feel of testing it out. That is where simulation becomes important for such a content. So let us see one or two more examples. Let me share my screen again. Everyone has learned in our schools, like no, some of in our school days, that some of interior angles of a triangle. This is something we all have learned already. When we see, like, we did one small survey, like with children after the classroom, we picked up some students and then we asked, this is one of the generalization, very basic generalization that we learn in mathematics. When we see this, when we learn in mathematics this, many of them just memorize, this is 180 degree and they know how to solve the problem. But this is a very basic thing. So we asked, like, is it true for every triangle? We asked to a set of children whether some of the interior angle of the triangle is always 180 degree. Some of the children have said that in our classroom, the teacher has only drawn one triangle and they show to us. So we can believe that it is true for one triangle, but we don't know whether it is true for all triangles. Some children said that in our classroom, our teacher told to take 40 people were there in our classroom. Everyone were told to take a paper, cut a triangle, then mark the interior angle, then measure the interior angle, then find the sum. So we know in our class, all 40 children got the same answer. When they study this theorem in 7th, they already know number system beyond lakhs. So when lakhs they have learned and 40 numbers they are checking, they are not able to say that it is still true for all the triangles. That is where the digital technology again helps, right? Using some of the interactives like this. So for example, this is one triangle which is similar to what teacher draws in the tab board. And then we make them to see, okay, in class we took 40 triangles and did. So now let's take triangle one by one. This is one triangle. This is second triangle. This is third triangle. This is fourth triangle. I try to see all the types of triangles so that children see variety of triangle in whichever format. Now slowly I try moving. How many triangles I'm changing? Tell the children to count. At one point, children will not be able to count. It's uncountable. So when it is uncountable, they get that feeling that it is true for every triangle. Many things which are abstract in nature can be brought into the experience using digital technology, which can be used by the teachers. These are some of the examples I'm showing, but there are n number of examples that can be taken up by the teachers to show to the students that technology is able to help us. So as we saw that, like when we think about why, we already saw in this particular, we already saw in this, it is engaging. Why technology? It is engaging. It is really interactive. It is enjoyable. It is effective. You can see several answers here. We could see with this example right now, whenever we teach with this kind of tools, it becomes more effective. Whenever we use such kind of digital technology, it engages. Sometimes it attracts students very easily. There are lots of animated content. You are all learning it. It attracts students. So that is why it is important for us to use digital technology. Moving to the next part of it, we have discussed about what and why. We are moving to how to integrate. So in how to integrate, I think you must have already learned about ADDIE in the instructional design session. So we are just going to move towards understanding the same model with respect to integration. How will you think to integrate technology in the classroom? Again, we are applying the same process of ADDIE here. The very first thing we need to do is analyze. Very first step is analyze. What are we expected to analyze? To decide that I want to integrate technology. First of all, we need to decide the purpose. Do I need technology or not? In the example I took, when I said that I want to teach India is the capital of, Delhi is the capital of India, really I don't need technology. I can just spell it out or write on the board. That's more than enough. I don't need a digital technology or ICT. But if it is like, if I wanted to still show like, these are the neighboring states of Delhi, I can bring still a physical map in the classroom. But what happens? I have 40 children in my class. 40 children cannot see the map which I show in the front. So in that context, because my context is large size classroom, I can use a map in the digital form which can be shown, which can be zoomed in to show to the student. So that is why we are choosing a digital map over the physical map. Because the purpose is decided because the context demands, my classroom size demands, right? So that is why I'm using this. Sometimes we choose simulations because the children my classroom children have certain difficulty in getting the space for doing experiment. They are not having it. The children are more of, only when they do, they can learn. That's their learning style. So because of that, I will choose to use simulation here. If I want to teach to the student that Delhi is the most polluted state in India, then just the image is not sufficient. I need to really show some videos how the pollution has affected Delhi. You need to make sure that you need to record some places before, like some interviews of people before certain monuments in Delhi, so that people will understand, yes, they are recorded in Delhi, right? So that is how the content will really go to the student. I'm taking a simple example because everyone can understand. Doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that it is only applicable to this subject. It is for every subject. For example, like when I was studying in MSc Mathematics, if you are a MSc Mathematics person, you will understand what I am saying about. Till class 12, 10 at least, we study maths as numbers. But beyond that, when algebra starts coming in, real analysis starts coming in, there is no numbers anymore in that. As a average student of mathematics, when I went into BSc itself, I lost interest in maths, though I used to score centum in school. But when I went to BSc Mathematics, I lost my school because my interest was not for mathematics. My interest was for numbers. My interest was for application mathematics, not for the real core mathematics. So because of which I was not able to really understand what they were speaking. Every time they used to teach there is an epsilon gets greater than 0, there is a neighborhood, which I never understood in my life. I finished the MSc Mathematics with that understanding. Just memorize the theorem, pass, come, solve the problem. Most of the people where there is abstract, this is how we clear our subject. That is where we will be able to teach the same thing what we learn, but we will not be able to really find out something from that. So when I went for my first interview, after my MSc, MEd, I went for my first interview to an edtech company for a job. So my first question was, you are from mathematics. They asked me a question, what is pi? So if the same question is asked to all of us, what would be our answer? So the very first question, I answered to them, it is 22 by 7. It is approximately equal to 3.14. The person who was interviewing me again gave a smile, and again he asked me once again, what is pi? So second time I gave I'm going for my first interview to get my job after my MEd. So I just answered him, what is the definition of pi? The ratio of circumference to diameter in a unit circle is the called pi. He gave again a smile. And then third time he asked, what is pi? I was very frustrated after that because beyond this, I didn't know anything. Till MSc, this is what they taught me. So I started telling every theorem and everything which I learned related to pi till MSc to him. Then he stopped me and asked, have you seen pi? And I got shocked. How can you see mathematics? Can you see mathematics? That too abstract like pi. Pi was never not shown. Then I just explained, I have seen pi. How did you see pi? Because in my school, my teacher took one rope and then she made it like a circle. There was some activity we did. I recall the activity and just repeated it. This is how I saw pi. Then he asked, where is pi in that? I said, better you don't give me job, let me leave. Because I don't know beyond this. So he told, just wait outside, and I got a job. That was the interesting thing. So I was curious to know how did they give me job when I didn't answer single question correct. Only one question was asked and I didn't give answer. So I went and asked to him, why did you give me job when I didn't answer your question? He told me back answer, you are an alumni from the same college where I studied. Without even knowing what is pi, I don't want you to go out and teach in any B.Ed college or in school to spoil the people. So please work in this office. Learn first and then go outside. Though this response was very shocking for me, I said, I am a rank holder, I am a gold medalist. He said, but what is the fun of it? You don't know what is pi. Very basic. So that gave me a thought. Yes, that's true. Many times our subject has many things. It's very funny to discuss this, but it's really the truth. If we today ask many of our students what we teach, many of the abstract things, people may not really know. That is where technology comes in to help us. There are many abstract concepts. First week of my job was only to see pi using a tool which was at that time, which was very famous, called Geometer Sketchpad, which is now almost like replicated in the form of GeoGebra. He just made me to understand why is it always 22/7? Why is it not 21/7? Why is it not coming as 22, not like 21/8? If children ask this question, we will not be able to answer sometimes. That is where technology comes in for the children to experiment. My first 1 week of my job is to experiment what is pi, how to explain pi. So today there are n number of tools that can really help us based on the demand of the content. So the very first thing, if your content demands technology, it is not mandatory to use digital technology until and otherwise any of this demands it. Until and otherwise there is a purpose. If the content needs it, or if the learner perspective needs it, or a context needs it, till then we should not use technology. So these are the three things which we need to analyze to decide whether I need technology or not. So moving ahead. The second thing which we have seen in ADDIE is design. Even when I have decided that I will use technology, my next point of thought process is to understand So whenever we think about, like, we start telling, okay, I need technology, but now in the design, we need to select which technology I need. How do we select it? What all should be in our mind? One thing we need to think about is what do they know and what are they going to achieve? This is something everyone does it, even if it is not technology. In our normal lesson plan, in B.Ed, we have been taught. We need to know the previous knowledge. We need to know the learning outcome. Same thing with respect to digital technology, but there is only an addition. Other than content, every time we wanted to use digital technology, we need to know what is the digital literacy which they know before, and what are you trying to achieve through using the technology in your classroom. In many classes, when they use the simulation, it becomes ineffective because they do not know even to use basic computers. The children doesn't even know to click. So children take time to get in. Even the teachers sometimes become not able to use the simulation, not because simulation is not effective, but because the way the teacher used is not effective. So it is very important to think, what do I know as a teacher? What am I going to achieve through this? Even when you think about the students, you should know what does the student know before and what are the students are going to achieve through this. So I just want to share a small example here. Like we did one small research with our DMS students, like our own school students of class 1. They are never exposed to working in computers. We took them to the computer lab. There is a software called Tux Paint. So it is like MS Paint type, it is Tux Paint, but this is completely based on the stamps. We all know that, no? Like color stamps, like just stamp it and paste it. In that way, the stamps are there. In the Tux Paint also, it is completely like the Tux Paint is like you will just click and paste it. So it's a very simple game. So what we did is we took all the children to the classroom. After a EVS lesson, in EVS lesson, they have learnt about family. And then we took them to the classroom and then we just, in English classroom, they have learnt about family. And in the third class, we took them in the third standard in the EVS lesson, where they have learnt about the habitat, and then we took to the lab. And when we took them to the lab, we just taught them initially because they never got exposed. So our intention is they have to use the Tux Paint. So there was a need to give a pre-introduction to using Tux Paint. So we made them to first get familiarity with the Tux Paint, and then we gave an activity to say that create a picture showing the habitat under the sea. So children have learned it. So all the 40 children started doing the painting because there was a painting of background of sea, underwater sea. So they took that and they started stamping fish, snail, seahorse, like that, some plants and all that. So if we don't give that introduction, children would have not done it better. That's what we need to know. But the children are not exposed much, but still we gave that tool. When they have to do it, it gave lot of impact. So until we know what they are aware of, this will impact the children. Similarly, another example, this is all what has happened in the actual classroom, so that this gives an understanding. We introduced one tool called, one of the AR tool, which is like when you scan the picture, that image will become like no kind of a 3D and then it will walk. So one of the teacher who attended our SRG training was very excited about QR. The app is called QR. He was very excited. So he went back to his school. On the first day, on the Monday, he used all the pictures he used in the classroom, gave to children, borrowed phone and tell them to color the picture and then scan it. The activity went on very well. At the end of the activity, when the children scanned it, they started seeing the animals moving and everything. Later, what happened is, after a few days, one of the child came back to the teacher and asked, "Can you give me your phone to my home?" The teacher asked, "Why do you want my phone?" The student said, "Sir, whenever I saw a picture with your phone, it came live." Because for a child, class 1 child, alive means which walks, which talks, that's all is living being. So whenever they saw this animal walked, it gave its sound, and when we clicked, it started chewing as if it's eating food. So the child understood that whenever you see with his phone of any picture, it will come alive. So the child was telling that my grandparents' picture is on the wall, grandmother's picture is on the wall for a long time. Give your phone so that I can make her to come alive. If we do not know what children are, what do they know? Because at the age of 1, they are not exposed to content which is not real. Which in AR content, there is not of unreal things. So which may make children to misunderstand things other than the content. So this is very important in the design part to understand what do they know and what are they going to achieve. And the very first thing you must have already thought about, when we wanted to integrate, we should become a prosumer. Not just a consumer. A producer plus consumer is called as a prosumer. So we need to become a prosumer. How we can presume? We can become a curator. There are enough you must have learned all these things. We have n number of digital initiatives which gives you digital resources. You can curate the content, find out which is available for you. Take it, use it in the classroom. If it is not available, then go for creating the content which you are learning in this 5 days workshop. Just to put it, whenever you are creating, first thing you need to understand is which type of resource, which form of this e-content is good to use, which is appropriate to your content, which is appropriate to your student, which is appropriate to your context. You need to choose the forms of content. Once you decide, for example, I have decided to use the video as a form. From this forms of content, maybe I'm deciding to use video as a form. So now the second thing which has to be decided is which presentation format of the video I will use. So you can see here there are various formats. Should I use a role play as a video? Should I use a glass screen as a video, or a screencast video, or a Vox Populi video? Video itself has this many formats. According to your content, I need to take, if I want to, which I have a content where I want more of opinion of people, where people have to understand various opinions to learn about it, then I have to use Vox Populi. Maybe I wanted to cover up this activity. Like for example, I have this activity. I wanted to show this activity as part of the video. Then I have to record the screen. So when I record the screen, it automatically becomes my screencast video. Right? We have all seen like the kind of videos like IIT professors and Byju's, right, where they will just move the fingers, the text keeps appearing on the board. So if we feel that I have lot of things to write, or I have images to show, if I turn in the video and show, people will see my back, then we have to use glass screen video. So depending on, again, content, your context and your learner, you need to choose the format of which video I should use it. When you decide to create a particular form of the resource, the next comes which tool I will use. Which is the appropriate tool to use for me to create the content. This is a small compilation by one of our faculty who is no more, putting up all the tools together. There are n number of tools. Which tool you will use? So for example, now I am using a presentation. Is the same as PowerPoint? What is the difference? What is the difference you are all able to see? Can you speak out? Are you seeing any difference with showing a PowerPoint and this? What did you see difference in my presentation? Mind map, okay. Any other response? Zooming in the part, it was interactive. Presentation, it will go slide by slide. You need to make lot of zoom in, zoom out. That is what you can do. Like no, fly from the top, fly from the bottom. But zoom in and zoom out, we cannot do much when and where I want. You have to fix one place. But in my presentation, I can show you whichever part I want. I can move one show closer, right? For example, now I'm showing my presentation again, so you can see the difference, what it is possible. So I'm showing this presentation now on the screen, right? I think like there is a delay due to internet connectivity. So you are seeing this. Now I'm able to zoom in. I can zoom out. Whenever I want to zoom in and zoom out, I'm able to zoom in and zoom out and show in my presentation, which is not feasible in the PowerPoint. And you can see like in single screen, I have keep it here. So I can even move like this. I can move my screens wherever I want, which is not possible in the PowerPoint. So because my presentation has content like this, I have chosen a software called Prezi to do my presentation. I'm not using a PowerPoint or Google Slide. I'm using Prezi as a software to present. Because in online, all of you are sitting for 1 hour, which is not very difficult to stick on to screen, to listen to a person whom you are physically not present. At least I have to use some technique to keep you sticking to the screen. So whenever I zoom and zoom out, automatically your eyeballs will open. You like it or not. That's the psychology behind. It's a physical response. So that is where I am using this tool, because today my session is completely in online mode. where the teachers already will not have interest to get connected, where we are not in face-to-face connection, where I do not know whether you are listening. So we have to choose the tools appropriate to create our content, depending again on the content, context, and the learner. And we need to make sure the content presentation, what we make, is appropriate to the mode of delivery. Whether it is online mode, whether it is going to be self-learning, whether it is going to be like in the TV, how is it going to go? Whether I'm going to use it in classroom, according to that, your content presentation should change. And we should also think about when you're designing, how will the learner participation? In classroom, learner participation is automatic because they feel that you are watching them. But in online, now 300 plus people, how many of you are really listening? We cannot really watch overview. Everyone is interested only in attendance form. Many of them just join only to fill the attendance and then they do their work. That's how online happens. So I need to think about learner participation. If I don't put activities in between, I will lose my participation in an online class. So that is where we need to keep some Mentimeter in between. I ask you to participate. At least I know 150 people are active, but we are also getting information that 200 people are not participating. That means there are two reasons. There may be problem with the technology, but that is not possible with 200 people. So there are people who have just joined the meeting, not attending the class properly. So this is how we can have the sense of our class. Even in the classroom, when you have 40 children, it is very difficult to see what each children are doing. In between, using technology helps you to make them to be along with you. And even we need to think the part of assessment. What type of assessment is possible?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
What is not possible? What is possible? Which are
Ma'am, voice is not clear. Ma'am, your voice is not clear now. It's breaking.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Actually, there is a lot of network fluctuation. Sorry for that. Somebody's mic is on. Okay, let us go ahead. Thank you. So let us just continue to close it off. So when we think about develop, the only point which I wanted to insist here is whenever you are going to develop your content, it is not just learning software and doing it. Today you have learned a mind mapping tool. Everyone will be able to practice mind mapping too. But if you really want a good digital mind map, it is important to include all this knowledge. All of you already have a discipline knowledge. You have completed your degree, bachelor's, master's, and you have a subject knowledge. You have done your B.Ed, so you have a pedagogy knowledge. You have learned educational psychology and sociology in your B.Ed, which gives you understanding about your learner and the context. So now only thing which you are learning during this 5 days is the technology knowledge. Now whenever you develop a content, it is important to apply all together. Then only your content development will be meaningful and you will get an effective too. Okay, so when you're developing this, develop anything, always try out the anything content you need to try out in the classroom, so that once you are trying out, do a small action research to understand what is the benefit, where there are challenges, analyze the impact based on your learning, build and share the experience with others. That is how the implementation process should happen. And the last step is evaluation. Many times we evaluate only the result. Many times we only do the result. We see like, okay, before that they didn't understand, now they understood. But whenever we evaluate implementing ICT in your class, it is very important to see the reaction of the students towards technology. If they are showing some behavioral change, then we need to understand and make alternative changes for it. If we don't pay attention to it, it is very difficult for us to keep the children safe in this place. So it is not just result. It is very important for us to go through all these things, evaluate all these things, so that our class will be very effective when we use technology. So this is how we need to really include. When we come to the safety and security aspect of the student, while using digital technology, you must be having a cyber safety class, already learnt about it. But few things which I wanted to highlight here is, number one, if you see any of the technology can have a harmful physical effect, we need to be careful about this. For example, using a headphone for a long time, for using a AR kit for a long time, these all will have a physical effect. So you need to use all these things only with the particular duration as approved psychologically and physically, and accordingly we should use in our classroom. Whenever there is a screen time, like we cannot now, like for example, we tell that for even adult, 30 minutes to 40 minutes is the maximum screen time at a stretch. But our sessions are 1.5 hours. So are we doing mistake? So that is where the presenters are taking time to stop the screen and ask you to discuss. Just come and talk, where you really don't need to pay attention to the screen. There we are just giving some activity where you stop seeing the screen, look at the keyboard, or sometimes you work with your hand. So you are trying to change few minutes to give a 1 minute break for your eyes to look at the screen. That is how we are expected to plan our class. Second thing is children's learning, cognitive, social, and emotional development. All these aspects should be taken care. Just not only the academic cognitive one, but socio-emotional is also important. So everything cannot be replaced by technology. We need to have a right balance between technology and the face-to-face activities as also. And there is like exposure to harmful content need to be very carefully taken care, because today when you say like go to YouTube and watch a video on this, when children go to watch, there are n number of evil elements there which can give some pop-up which may mislead a child, and children can be misled and they can land up somewhere. So it is always important for children, whenever you are putting a children in a public platform, it is important for you to curate the content and give the direct link to the content to go and watch, rather than saying go and search, because they are not at the age. We should be very clear about it. Or you need to identify the platform where there is no harmful content, then give the platform and then tell them to search on it. The last one, new technologies which are displacing other learning and play activities. We need to be cautious about those new technologies. Today children are completely into immersive learning. They play a lot of games, so they are completely into immersive learning, that's taking them from the other play activities. So it's important to balance that with our planning and implementation. So with this I stop. If there is any question, we have 7 more minutes. Are there any application that allow uploading a video and automatically generating question? There are many. You can use it, but it is always not correct. Even in chatbot, you give the video and ask them to give, it will give. Chat GPT will give. But all the time, the question and answers are not correct. Is there any questions?
But we can take one question from Mr. Sri Shailam. He's raising his hand.
Yeah, please. Your question, sir. Somebody
Ma'am,
wants Addy slide. When he is
ma'am,
asking questions, sharing slide. Yeah.
ma'am, good
Yes, sir.
morning. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So, what are the apps here
Please
which
go
can
ahead,
which
sir.
we can use? What are the apps which we can use in the social science class, ma'am? Like Cetera,
Very
ChatGPT.
simple. This session, we are not focusing on apps. You're learning all the apps and tools in other session. This session is to break your head and tell that don't think only apps, think about how you should integrate. So there are separate sessions to learn about your subject-wise apps and all. So that session will teach you that, sir. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other questions? Please give a demo of how to create Prezi. Sir, I will give one small link to all of you, two links rather. Every tool, what we are teaching here, more than 100 plus tools. Somebody is asking how to create questions. So we have already done 1,000 plus webinars and we have videos available for you to watch and learn each software, whichever you want. Maybe you want to learn about how to create a presentation in Prezi. You can go to that. You can simply go to Google and type CIET webinar. I am giving that link. You can bookmark that in your with you or save it somewhere so that it's easy for you always to watch. So this is our page where you can have all the lessons you can see here. So there is like, we have 1,000 plus webinars here. You have to just go next, next, next. And you can see the presentation and the video to understand. It is available in English and Hindi version. This is one link. The other link is you go to CIT website. You have two things. One is webinar and ICT. Another is training as well as online course. So when you go to this training page, you can see every week we have training. And these trainings are converted to a course. So you can just go to the courses, do this course. You can attend online to learn or go to these courses, online course. You will see nano course. It is just 5 hours courses. All these are courses are open now. You can just go click here, go to the session, join the course in Diksha, do it, take the certificate whenever you get time. It is all open till March. So before that, you can complete this. So I'm giving these two links to, these are the 3 links that I will post it in the group, in the chat box, which you can take it for your reference. Any other question? Kanak sir, you have raised your hand. Can you unmute yourself? Kanak sir. These are the 3 links which you can save it with yourself. Is there any written material explaining on content which is presented? The written material is provided as part of the Nishta course. So you will be in coming upcoming days, you will be doing some Nishta courses where this written content also will be coming up. Yeah. Kanak sir, can you speak out? You have some query? Admin team can share these 3 links in the chat, WhatsApp groups if you have for them, so
Yes,
that if,
ma'am.
they can take help of it anytime. Yeah. Any
Share
other
it.
queries, please? If there is any other queries. When will the assessment be effective, through a manual or digital form? It depends on what assessment you are doing. If you are doing formative assessment, which is quick, you wanted to assess the students in the classroom, digital, there is a lot of scope for it. And even if you don't have, every child do not have a mobile in their hand, even then you can do it. There is a software called Plicker. So it is a mobile app, Plicker. You can search in our tool page, Plicker, and you can learn that. It is very useful because in your classes, all students will not have mobile. Right now, I'm giving Mentimeter. All of you are having device, you are able to do it. But in classroom, our students don't have. So Plickr is something which you will use only printed paper and only teacher needs one app. But it is a digital assessment. Very powerful. You can try that as well. Yeah. Any other question? It's a software name is Plickr. I have typed it in the chat box.
Kanaksa, you can
We
ask
have
a
a session
question.
on this in our webinar.
Ma'am, am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Good morning,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
I'm from Sainik School, Junjunu, and I just want to ask. Every day we are going deeper into AI. We are learning here a lot of AI tools. We are working on it, and we are generating a lot of things every day for the students. My question is, will they be useful and efficient in the future? Because nowadays we are having generative AIs, you have used Prezi to create presentation. With seconds, we can create presentation. In minutes, we can do a lot of things like Mentimeter. We have seen we can create videos nowadays. We can create, we can do homework as well if we're talking about the students. So will it work for the students in future? We are going deep into generative AIs, so we are not putting our mind, and they are doing everything with the help of AI. So that is my question.
So there are two parts. Okay. There are two parts for it. One is like AI used by teacher to make your teaching learning process effective. Second is making students to use AI. There is globally, if you see, there are lots of restrictions to make student use, because there is misleading things. There is still not enough using AI. See, it is like it's a graphics person's work. I think my voice was not clear. Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, I think I got stuck in between. So there are two parts of AI usage. One is on the teacher side. I think there is an audio issue again.
Ma'am, you are on mute. We can't hear you, ma'am.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sorry, this is the last question, but like I'm just getting stuck up with the technology. So there are two parts of AI. One is like teacher using AI, another is making student use the AI. To make student use the AI, that is lot of globally still a position not very clear whether we should go for it, because now teacher itself is not clear very much about it. Okay. The actual thing for teacher is teacher has to be vigilant in using AI, just not like because you learned a tool to create content, we cannot go. Even though Prezi gives option to create your presentation. I have tried many times to create my presentation in using Prezi. But whatever content we give is only from us. If you take the content from them, it will not align with what you wanted to present. But to make it a design beautiful, I take help of Prezi AI to say that instead of me thinking which template to choose, which color to choose, where to put, that I take the help of AI. But content is fed by me. But what I do is I make the content in the text, in a kind of in the text format, and I upload it and say, this content converted it to presentation. I've tried that. But sometimes I would have chunked one point in first point, the second point in another slide. But AI will mix it up and put it in a different manner, which will lose what I wanted to say. So when you use AI, we need to be vigilant of where we are using AI. Though tools are available. That is why this session is for. Ultimately, there are n number of tools, not just AI. Today, AI was there. You learn a tool tomorrow it will become proprietary and it will stop you from working. Whatever we taught last year, nothing is available this year. Right? So AI is something which you cannot be dependent on. The only thing is when you are coming up, the ultimate thing that has to stay in your heart is, when will I select AI to use it? How much I will use the help of it? So the idea should stay in your mind and analysis should stay in your mind to say, is it suitable for me? Is it suitable for it? The appropriateness has to be checked by the teacher. So things may keep changing, but anyway, human brain cannot be replaced by any machine. That is nowhere possible. That is what neuroscience speaks about. So let us have that belief and trust that we are not replaceable by any system or any device. We are only we. What we can do, only we can do. We have to have that strength and say in my teaching learning process, if I want to replace me, that can be done. Do you want to or not want to is in your hand. With this, I stop. I think already 5 minutes extra has been taken. So let's close this.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an informative session, I can say. And you have beautifully demonstrated how content, pedagogy, and technology, when thoughtfully integrated, can really transform teaching learning process. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this.